We're looking at homework from section 9.1. This is question number 2. Describe the range of values for the correlation coefficient. Choose the correct answer below. So let's remember this summary of the correlation coefficient we saw in our notes. There were 6 features of that coefficient. First, the value will fall between -1 and 1. A perfect negative correlation has a value of -1. A perfect positive correlation has a value of 1. The stronger the negative correlation, the closer r will be to -1. The stronger the positive correlation, the closer r will be to 1. And when there is no correlation between x and y, then r will be close to 0. So there are 2 answers here that sound like they might be correct. Choice B and C. B says the range of values for the correlation coefficient is -1 to 1, not inclusive. And C says the range of values for the correlation coefficient is -1 to 1, inclusive. So what is the difference between inclusive and not inclusive? Well, when you have a range of numbers, like -1 to 1, when you say inclusive, you mean you're including the endpoints of the interval. So it's all the numbers between -1 and 1, including the -1 and the +1. When you say not inclusive, then it's all the numbers between -1 and 1, not including -1 or +1. So in our statements below, it says that the value will fall between -1 and +1. A perfect negative correlation has a value of -1, and a perfect positive correlation has a value of 1. So that tells us the value of the correlation coefficient can be equal to -1, or it can be equal to +1, which means that this is the inclusive definition, and that's choice C. That's your answer.